So last night, while I'm watching Canelo versus Terence Crawford on Netflix, mind you, these dudes are walking out at like 1:15 in the morning, 1:30 in the morning, something ridiculous like that. I'm paying attention to Terence Crawford's walkout, right? And his song hits the speakers, and it sounds oddly familiar, and I'm like, wait a minute. This is Ilia Topuria's walkout song. Terence Crawford thinks that he's going to beat up Ilia Topuria next, but I had to check Twitter and verify it, and there was everybody else on Twitter, it erupted. They're like, whoa, Terence Crawford's walking out to Ilia Topuria's song. Now, in my head, I'm like, this dude, Terence Crawford's counting his chickens before they even hatch. I thought Canelo had this fight in the bag. I'm not going to lie to you. I would have bet my crib on Canelo beating Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford's small. He's moving up a few weight classes to fight Canelo. Canelo being a great boxer, fighting Floyd Mayweather. All the accolades Canelo has received in his career, therefore, and so on. I thought that it was going to be an old school whooping in there. Obviously not. Canelo was in there spamming overhand right. We'll get to it anyway. But Ilia Topuria gets word of this too, that Terence Crawford is essentially mocking Ilia Topuria, because Ilia Topuria called out Terence Crawford maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and Terence Crawford called him drunk. He said, oh, bro must be drinking. He must be drunk thinking he can get in there with me. Like, bro's tripping, right? So to see somebody walk out with your walkout song, they're doing that to antagonize you. Terence Crawford literally showed Ilia Topuria level confidence by picking Ilia Topuria's walkout song to go fight Canelo. Are we being for real here? But anyways, Ilia Topuria gets word of this and he tweets out, first he calls me drunk, then he walks out to my song. Crawford, whenever you want, I'll teach you how to dance that Marachi in the ring. And Canelo, I'll save you a round after him. Bro, Ilia Topuria just did a double boxing call out. Okay, the meme is that Ilia Topuria is following in Conor McGregor's footsteps. You know, they have the same tattoos, the same back tattoo, the same chest tattoo. They have a little weird bromance thing going on. Ilia Topuria obviously idolizes Conor McGregor, and there's nothing wrong with idolizing somebody, but there's something wrong with emulating somebody's whole lifestyle. You know what I mean? But Conor McGregor, after he won double belt status, he went on to box Floyd Mayweather. Ilia Topuria is right there in that timeline. He just won his second belt. Granted, he's not champ, you know, because the UFC made him drop the 145 belt so Volk can go fight somebody else, save Volkanovski's career. Shout out to Volk. But Ilia Topuria is right there in the Conor McGregor storyline where he went out there to fight Floyd Mayweather. Ilia Topuria needs to go out there and fight Terence Crawford. And I think Ilia Topuria beats Terence Crawford. Now, yes, when Conor McGregor fought Floyd Mayweather in boxing, I was in high school. And if you asked me then, I was telling you up, down, left, and right, Conor McGregor is going to bounce Floyd Mayweather's head off of the canvas within 8 rounds. Don't even worry about it. Now, did Conor McGregor show out in that fight? Absolutely. Showed world-class striking. I didn't even think that fight was going to be that competitive. If I'm going to be honest with you, I thought it was going to be a lopsided Conor win. Okay, I was a low IQ fight watcher at the time. Okay, you guys think I'm a casual now that I make these videos? Imagine me in what was that fight, 2016? All right, but I think that Ilia Topuria obviously is better than Conor McGregor. We can obviously see that through the victims that are on Ilia Topuria's resume compared to the victims that are on Conor McGregor's at this point in both their careers. You know what I'm saying? And Terence Crawford won about 10 different belts last night. Okay, we can do this fight at whatever weight class we want to. Ilia Topuria is the hardest puncher I've ever seen at 145. You know that meme of Jeremy Stevens talking to Conor McGregor saying, I'm the hardest hitter at 145. When I hit people, they don't move. And Conor McGregor goes, who the fuck is that guy? Listen, Ilia Topuria is seriously the hardest hitter at 145. And he's the hardest hitter at 155. I don't want to hear it. Absolutely not. I really don't. Now, Gene Silva was approaching that aura as, he might be the hardest hitter at 145, but not after Diego got to him, you know what I'm saying? But hey, Ilia Topuria versus Terence Crawford is getting a little real. It is getting a little real, boys. I don't know what's up with that verbal slip up I just had right there, where I could barely say real, but hey, it's getting real. We're moving in a direction where this could be a real possibility. I think that the UFC is saving Ilia Topuria for January, and they're going to feed Justin Gaethje to Ilia Topuria. They're going to feed Justin Gaethje to Ilia Topuria, and then they're going to make Paddy fight Arman, and Ilia Topuria is going to get to ride off into the sunset and box Crawford on Netflix or, on Paramount. On Paramount, you know what I mean? And make a buku load of money for himself and for the UFC. I seriously do think that Ilia Topuria sleeps Terence Crawford. Now, Terence Crawford is taller than Ilia Topuria, and he has a longer reach, but what's new? What's new? Max Holloway was taller, and he had a better reach than Ilia Topuria, and yes, Max Holloway won the first round, maybe even the second round, but you saw what happened to Max Holloway. It literally looked like somebody hit Max Holloway with a winded up baseball bat, the way that Max Holloway's body just flew onto the ground. Okay, it was a little paranormal looking what Ilia Topuria does to people in the octagon. Yes, Terence Crawford has so many vicious knockouts in his career, you know what I'm saying? But that fight against Canelo, bro, was kind of just sticking and moving. Yeah, he was hitting some fast combos, but he wasn't really trying to stand there and stand and bang like they were doing on the prelims, But I think Ilia Topuria closes that distance, brother. I don't think you could jab Ilia Topuria away, and I think Ilia Topuria will seriously be written down as one of the best combat athletes we've ever seen. Imagine Ilia Topuria, the undisputed 145-pound champion, not the linear, JDM is a linear BMF champion, but the BMF champion because he took it off of Max Holloway, the 155-pound champion. And then the ring light, the WBO light, the ring super light, the WBA super light, the WBC super light, the IBA. Imagine. I can't even imagine that. The picture of Demetrius Johnson with his 10 belts, right? Imagine the picture of Ilia Topuria. Imagine the picture of Ilia Topuria with his 3 belts from the UFC and these 10 that he would get from demolishing Terence Crawford. Ilia Topuria is seriously going to go down as one of the best martial artists at 145 to 155, maybe even 170 that we've ever seen in our lifetimes, boys. I'm telling you. You know how upset I'm gonna be if I'm talking all this shit. And he just gets mollywopped by Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje hits him with a rolling thunder and slam. We see Ilia Topuria done on the octagon floor. I will be furious. But Ilia, I have some faith in you, brother. I have some faith in you. You've never given me a reason to not. Okay? Let's get active. Go get this money fight. Go get us a bag. And hey. Maybe throw E-Rock a little bag for some promotion, okay? You know what I'm saying? Let's go Ilia Topuria. I think my boy could beat up Terence Crawford in a boxing match. What a crazy performance from Terence Crawford, though, against Canelo. I'm honestly devastated that Canelo took that loss. But anyways, boys, I'll catch you guys in a little bit. So.